It's one of the mornings, beginning of May, and I'm just sleeping in my bed, pressing my phone, I was on Facebook, I remember. And boom, nice X3 going for like, I think a reasonable amount, and it's a 2019 low kilometers, and I'm like, oh wow, this is interesting. And then I go to the website and actually check for this car. All right, everything looks okay, and I think the price is okay as well. I'm excited about it, and then I take screenshots of this car. It's Mazda CX-3, a red one. I love that car. I take screenshots and then I send them to my manager. So when I'm gonna do some big financial decision, I usually buy him, and it's just for some advice and guidance here and there. So, and it was very early at that time. It was around 5 or 6. I sent the screenshots, and then around 9 or 10, I called him to say, can you talk? And he's like, yeah, tell me what's happening. I'm like, oh, I sent you screenshots of a car that I think I like. I'm not actually looking for a car as in right now. I wasn't looking for a car. Just that I came across this one and I'm like, oh, I think I like it, and why not? And then also the idea that it's my birthday, it's my birth month, it's playing in my head. I'm like, okay, it would be a nice gift to myself and why not? Okay. And this time around, because my manager, every time I would tell him about me wanting a car back then, he wouldn't even entertain that. But this time around, he's like, okay, do you like it? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, okay, call them and find out when we can go view it and all that. Okay, I'm getting all excited. Immediately after I dropped a call with him, I called this dealership asking about this car. And the car is sold. The car is sold, and I'm like, okay, I'm disappointed now. But I'm like, okay, let me just look for another one. And I do look for another one, and it came at a higher price than the previous one. Okay, and this one is like a 2019 one. The first one was a 2020. And I'm like, okay, even this one looks okay and whatnot. In this same dealership, I see an Audi A1 sports spec, like 2019, 30 kilometers. It's going for 195. I'm like, yay, nine motoyamos. It's fine. Now send the Chinese Audi game. And then I'm like, okay, I tell him about the Audi and I send him pictures because it's sold already, the Mazda CX-3. The price for the Audi is kind of questionable because, like, wow, an Audi 2019 30 kilometers go for like 195,000. Yeah. I'm like, but I'm just excited that it's even going for at that price. I tell my manager later on the day, he checks it out and he's like, this is too good to be true. He's just not trusting this. Sorry. It's a friend. I read a status on my WhatsApp that my place is cold. And she's like, whatever. So, there's something not right about the car. Why would it cost that much and it's an Audi and the kilometer and all that? Because when he even looked at other cars, same cars, the price is way higher than what we're getting this one for. But I'm just so persistent. I'm like, okay, yes, I do hear you. But then we won't really know what's the problem with the car if we don't go check it out. So can you please just go and see it and then we'll decide then, Sure. And on the next day, he was traveling, or a day after, he was traveling to Devon. So I'm just begging him that we must go before he leaves. Fine. he comes by my place and then we go to the dealer. It's somewhere Highlands, so when we get there, okay, we're here to check this car. We firstly checked the Mazda CX-3 and it was just not nice. And then they bring this out. Hey guys, that car, it's so beautiful. It's buffet to lemon, and I'm like, it's written my name all over it, like cute, so. And we check it out, and my manager is like, he's nodding like yes, like I can see he's not so against it, but then he just wanted to know what was the problem, why is it so cheap? Sure. And then we see a few things here and they say, okay, where's something that belongs to that certain part, that wheel and whatnot. They're like, no, the other one we've ordered it, and the other one was just in the car, we're just gonna put it back in. And then we ask, what was the problem with the car? Why is it cheap? And then they tell us, okay, it was in a car accident. I think they bumped it when someone was reversing on the right wheel, front wheel. Then something yonke low way. So at least we know it was next day. And normally they could even see that this was recently painted again. Yo, but that car, guys, ready, cutie, yo. This is my car. And then we test drive it and all good. We come back and we're like, okay, so we actually take the picture of the V number, just so we can also query with Audi and maybe find some history report about the car. Because they said they're gonna ask for us from Audi, and we're like, okay, we also want to talk to Audi directly. Fine, we take Lawe, and then we leave. My manager is like, you know what? If Audi checks this out, like gives thumbs up or a green, and then we're good. I just want that, and I'm excited. I might be getting a car for my birthday. It's for my 29th birthday. I'm getting myself a car. Excitement went away. And so now it's the next day, and my manager is traveling. So my manager is traveling, sure. And then in the morning, nobody's calling me, not these guys. But anyway, the dealership guys said they're gonna call my manager. And then the dealership, okay, fine. They're gonna call my manager, and then my manager will talk to me. Okay. I think they did call him. I'm like, now I'm curious because he's not calling me. I call him. The manager, I can't say the guy. I'm like, so what's happening? What's the deal? Then he's like, I spoke to those guys, but then I'm still gonna call Audi. I think in a later stage he called Audi, and then when I spoke to him again, he was like, call your bank. I'm like, this is happening. I'm getting this car. Fine, I apply for finance, Standard Bank, ABSA, West Bank, Net Bank. And then Standard Bank replies, ABSA as well. It was Standard Bank, it was just a high interest rate. I wasn't interested. And then ABSA, boom, alright. A very good interest rate, I'd say. It was like 7.9. I was like, and then West Bank, they came back, and Net Bank as well. Yeah. So I had decided that I'm going with ABSA because they had the lower interest rate than the other banks. Even lawyer submitting the document to go ABSA, and so now it was the time for this guy to contact the dealer. He asked for the contacts and then I send them through. When he checks this dealer, it is not in their approved dealers list. And then he replies to my email like, no, this is not an approved dealer. So we need you to look for a car at our approved dealers. Oh, I'm like, this is a sign. Because now I need to go through all that admin of looking for a car when I wasn't actually looking for a car. I just wanted this car because I came across it while I was doing my stuff, while I was browsing. And I thought it's the car that I like. It's at a reasonable price. The kilometers, the year. So that's the reason I decided I was getting a car. Otherwise, I wasn't actively looking for a car. Now I must go to check out the approved dealers and then look for a car. Oh, I between. They were at me. I was like, fam, let's leave it. Let's leave it. I'm not getting the car. It's fine. Another thing, the guys at the dealer, they said I can submit my documents to them and they'll apply. They know how. I don't know. But my manager was just not convinced that I must give away my documents to those guys. Because I don't know say proper kind of say those modern so my manager was not convinced and I just didn't want to go against okay la uyoba mandi submit documents zami. And I thought it is here but inhliziyo yami who liyamoto guys. And I was like, okay, let me just let it go. It's fine. And I didn't speak to any of the banks again. I was like, let's leave it next time. Because I'd actually love to buy a car cash. Cars are expensive though. A car cash, save up and But then on this one I was like, at least I have a deposit, like proper good deposit. And then I didn't want to borrow much from them. It's just because the installment I was gonna pay like 2 point something, which is way lesser than what I was ready for anyway. And with the deposit was gonna help. So I was like, let me just leave it. I wasn't looking for a car as such because I still work from home. I don't really need a car. I'd love to buy a car when I actually need it or when I actually feel like I've done something. It could be some achievement and like let me reward myself with the car, or it could be a milestone like So I'm like, what, this is a sign. Let me not even try looking for another car just yet. Let me just put it on a hold, this whole thing. Otherwise, I'd love to own a car. Oh, I'm not driving, guys. Oh, impilo yami besezandleni zami. But yeah, it will happen when it happens. So yeah, that's the story of how I thought I was getting a car from a birthday and I didn't get the car. So the meows are still. Don't still betuna. Can walk up and lift, please. Video about my birthday week on what I got up to. It was not bad. As much as I didn't get myself a car, but I still enjoyed my birthday week, doing some activities for my bucket list.